I think you know our culture is in trouble. Every day, every week, every year, as things become more secular, things are getting more out of control. Now with artificial intelligence becoming the new thing, you know, this is a whole nother ball game of operating. So you and I are looking at something that's going to change the very trajectory of life. This is a time when Christians can't be silent. You're either going to be a representative of God or the representative of a culture that is in desperate need of God. You know, Sodom and Gomorrah were two cities pretty close to each other, Dallas and Fort Worth, okay? And so God said, I'm going to destroy those two cities. Now, he destroyed them for three reasons, not one. We know one, the moral decay. Two, the violence. Three, according to Ezekiel, the oppression of the poor, injustice. So there were three reasons Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed, not one. Moral decay, violence, and oppression, injustice, okay? So God says, I'm going to destroy them. Abraham said, if I can find 50 righteous, will you save the two cities for the sake of the 50? In other words, will you accept the 50 as a down payment on saving the 500,000 or however many lived in Sodom and Gomorrah? God said, if you find me 50, I'll spare the city. Abraham came back and said, what about 40? He couldn't find 50. He came back and said, what about 30? Because he couldn't find 40. He came back and said, what about 20? Because he couldn't find 30. He came back and said, what about 10? Because he couldn't find 20. So let me tell you why Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed. It was destroyed because of the decay. It was destroyed because of the violence. It was destroyed because of the oppression. But it was also destroyed because the righteous couldn't be located. God's people were nowhere to be found. Maybe they were in church. Maybe they were worshiping. Maybe they were saying amen. Maybe they were waving their hands in the air like they just don't care. Maybe they were just having a great time listening to the sermon or listening to the choir, but they were nowhere to be found in the culture. Sunday morning is only designed to get you ready for a week of ambassadorship on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so that all week long, God has representatives in the culture with good words and good works. The Cowboys have different kind of fans. They have casual fans. That means they can take it or leave it. They can watch the game or not watch the game. Okay, so they're casual. Then they have committed fans. These are people who they're not going to miss the game. They're going to come to 8 o'clock service if it's a 12 o'clock game, because they're not going to miss the game. Okay, they're going to be there because they're committed on Sunday to be in front of the game. But then there are fanatical fans. These are people, they want season tickets. They want to be at the game. And they will pay the price to be at the game. They will trade in their tithe for their ticket. They don't want to miss the game. And they will tell you the stats of which player did this and which player did that. And they can tell you all the details because they are fanatical about their team. The Cowboys have different kind of fans. The kingdom has different kind of fans. God has got some casual Christians. They can make it or not make it. They'll come on Easter and Christmas, a few times in between. They're casual about it. They're not going to make a big deal about it. Then he has committed kingdom representatives. They're going to be there. They're going to be Sunday morning. They're going to be at church. They're going to be at church. They're going to give some money. They'll maybe serve a little bit. And they're committed. You can count on them to be engaged at the gathering. But then there are those radical kingdom representative. Because they just getting started when the benediction is given. When the benediction is given, it's going to be Jesus in the morning, Jesus at noontime, and Jesus when the sun go down. Everybody at work going to know they are a follower of Jesus Christ. Their family members are going to know that they love the Lord and that they serve the Lord. The people in the neighborhood going to know we operate differently in our crib, because as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. At the benediction, they just getting started, because they're fanatical followers of Jesus Christ.